Okay. Put the phone away, Sean. Hey, everybody. Hey, everyone.
We got a little bit of incense going.
Incense going. Sunday afternoon. You might see this, who knows when, right?
You might see this
that's
in 2030.
Yeah, you might see this in the year 2030 on a January winter rainy evening.
I thought you were going to say on a spaceship heading for...
Yeah.
We never know.
We never know.
But,
hey, sweetie, want to come lay down? We got the producer here. You can't see her because she's below the camera line, but
below the Mason-Dixie line.
It happens to
I'm kind of up on my old pyrotechnics.
Yeah, Andre's into his old racket again.
I still can't seem to go buy a lighter, so I went and lit this on the stove.
Yeah.
And then I brought it up here. There's just a lot of stuff going on right now.
Yeah.
And so we're using that, and I want to try to light this candle.
And Bubba, turn back on the incense.
I felt like it was too much.
Mm-mm.
There we go.
Let's get here. I can hold it for a little bit. Let me be the pyro man for a little bit.
Well, I gotta shut this off.
Shut off.
Woo!
Woo!
Hey, everybody. Welcome to all of our new signer-uppers for the old page.
The old Patreon.
And here we are in the studio.
Dre, you're going to be very pleased with this.
I think it's a good placement.
It's perfect.
Actually, I don't want the smoke alarm to go off. So.
Yeah, we want to get back to being...
But that's enough. It's really smoky.
We want to get back to being consistent with these Patreons. We've
consistent and considerate.
Yeah. And
but it's been a good run the past couple weeks. We haven't checked in with y'all, but life has been ripping. We've been been busy.
Super inspired. I've been doing construction.
Sean's been doing
Andre's been doing less of it.
I've been doing a bunch more content stuff between the OnlyFans, the TikTok, the Instagram, the Patreon, music stuff, like trying to write more music, and then all the business side stuff, like when you start we started a new LLC, new business bank account, all this jazz, and it's been a lot of fun. And then of course, mucho exerciso, mucho, a lot of exercising, and a lot of dog time. Me and little Zoe, we go out still daily, twice a day, cumulatively about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Eating well, cooking well.
I've been doing this remodel for a friend.
Yes.
That I signed up for thinking it was a short job. It's never going to end.
Not with this particular friend of ours goes hard in the paint.
Yeah, he's wonderful. I'm grateful.
He just
for the work.
goes big on everything.
Grateful for the work. I don't necessarily have to, but I'm going to see the job through.
Hell yeah.
And so things are good. Summer is kicking off. I know technically summer doesn't start till June.
Is that right?
21st or something. Yeah, I'm totally making this up, but
the solstice?
Yeah.
The longest day of the year?
Yeah, June 20th.
When is that?
First or something.
Yeah, I never, you think 36 years on this planet.
That we would know those types of things. I do know December.
What day? It changes.
21st.
It changes maybe.
I'm all discombobulated. I do not know. I'm just going to say that.
Well, it's kind of a made up thing, you know. I also don't know all the little parts of the periodic table. You know. Mm-hmm. I don't know what 5,021 times 400.
17 is.
Yeah.
We don't know that.
That one's easier, times 17. I'm not going to do it.
5,021 times 17. Tell me. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You could
you didn't tell me.
Well, it's easier to figure that one out.
Because you do 5,000 times 21.
No, you do 5,000.
17 times 21.
That's how you do it? I would do 5,021 times 10. Then I would do 5,021 times 7. That's how I would do it.
Okay. We've talked about that enough.
I don't know. Oh, man.
Yeah, if a quick plug for our OnlyFans. If you haven't checked it out, we have a twin OnlyFans, which is the two of us.
It's popping.
It's popping off.
It's popping over there.
And then there's a solo one that I started first.
Why is it? You actually did.
I started first. Oh yeah, I started first.
You literally started.
I was the trailblazer. Yeah, I think we've talked about this.
Well, I'm gonna put this out now. Too much.
Yeah.
Too much scent.
Anyways, that's a plug for that, and yeah, we're life is really awesome because we have some purpose.
Yeah, it's you know what it is I've said this before. I'll say it again. It's cool to live a life you want to live, and then find a way to support it, and we've been finding a way.
I love that, Andre. That
So like exercising a lot, spending time with my dog, eating well, and then going and communing with others. Oh yeah, new update. We're not going to talk about
our recovery.
We're not going to talk about
program.
Well, we're not going to talk about explicitly, which is kind of.
We're not going to talk about explicitly what some of the things we do for our sobriety.
I don't know about that actually. Well, so might be interesting to the viewers and listeners. There's this whole thing in like the certain 12-step program that we're a part of, where it's like anonymity, right? And there's like these, you'll see on public people, I'm sure you know of many of them, who talk about being a member of an anonymous Schmalkapolix Colonymous, and the issue with that some people, like we have a bunch of mentors, and a couple of them at least have talked about like there's a tradition, like the tradition of anonymity is important because what if Sean and I talk about being members of this 12-step program and we proselytize or whatever, we talk about it, and then all of a sudden...
And then we go fucking...
we do something...
Kill someone in a drunk...
Yeah, and then we relapse.
And we get in an accident and we...
Or do something bad.
Yeah, we got loaded again and then...
people were thinking like, oh, you're speaking...
Yeah, oh, this is what people do in that program? This is what people do?
Or rather like... Oh, I knew it didn't work.
Yeah.
Or
yes.
If we're speaking for it, and then we're still, let's say, so there's this whole thing about, not bringing that into our, not being public about the fact. Now, here's the counter argument to that which I've thought about, which is like, you can't really quantify the negative effects of that, and you also can't quantify the positive effects.
That's a good point
of being like. Maybe there's, who knows, the audience, like some of the really public people who talk about their involvement in this 12-step programs, you can't quantify how many people they've helped.
Can you tell that to N.R. Curry? Because that's a great way to put it. Hey man, you can't quantify the
So when we're in this program, we talk a lot about fear, and like, so what's the fear here? Is fear guiding my decision to not be vocal about it? Now that being said, I do feel like it's important to not talk about it too much and say and be I don't want to be a spokesperson for this 12-step program, but I also don't want to like shy away from sharing with people that it has literally changed Sean and mine's life to be a part of something bigger than ourselves, to be a part of a community, to go and help out, to find ways to be of service. The best way that I talk about it today is, and I've said this before, it is an arena that I get to walk into this arena and I get to go practice being a good guy. And like left to my own devices, I don't always look for that. So
Yep.
Yeah.
Amen. Sean
Bumblebee
left to
tuna.
Sean, I end up being extremely self-focused, which of course feels good. It can feel good, but then because I'm an a former, or because I'm an alcoholic addict, it can get skewed in the way I think about this. Like that can transfer over to other things if I'm not on it. Yeah.
Obsessive, destructive, obsessive thought. Just because I don't drink or use anymore, that sort of like obsessive, self-centered thought can transfer to other stuff. Money, sex, prestige, workaholism, workaholic nature. So it's important to still be a part of, you know, it honestly is not that different from church. It's just that we don't, you know, it's a spiritual program where we get to choose our own higher power. I call it God because it's easy to say God, but it's not some like dude with a white beard or like, you know, from Christianity or Catholicism.
No, it's universal love and compassion, and
UL.
Yeah, and
ULC.
taking the next right actions. That's kind of what it is for me. It's like, okay,
and then like a step further is like, okay, because you hear that said, like, take the next right action, and it's been important for me to be like, well, what's the next right action? Early on, when we get sober, like you have to really. I had to ask people all the time, like, what should I do? And then slowly, we build new habits. So now I know the next right action is one of love, tolerance, kindness, or compassion. Like, how can I act that way in any situation?
Yep.
Yeah. And Sean definitely sees the other side of that.
Yep.
Or I'm not mean.
Oh, yeah. Earlier today, I come into Andre's place, and he was
bossing him around.
Yeah, very controlling, which I kind of called him out on it. And then he changed actually from that point. But he didn't say, okay, let me change that. He was defiant.
Yeah.
But then it changed, just kind of, yeah.
I can be defiant, yeah, of course.
Self-righteous.
Well, I want to control stuff, you know. And I had a great idea for this reel. And so I wanted Sean to come in, not ask questions, and just follow direction and shut the hell up. And he'll be like, but I don't like the lighting. Objection. And I'm like, Sean, shut the fuck up. Just kidding. Oh, man. Dude, if y'all had a twin brother or sister or, you know, whatever, maybe no sex, maybe they don't have a sex. If y'all had that, y'all would understand, but maybe you don't need to have that. Maybe you just, like a wife or a husband, it's a little different. The thing about Sean and myself is I'm, like, you can divorce a husband or a wife and literally not have to talk to them.
You can divorce a twin.
True.
You just don't ever talk to them again. Like
your heart hurts.
I'm working with this guy on this remodel right now. He's a twin, and just on Friday, we were chatting, and he's like, he's like, you're so lucky.
Yeah.
And I felt like saying, well, and it just isn't that. It's way more complicated than me saying, well, you need to get back in touch with him. No, it's probably years of trauma and
resentment,
arguments and resentments. But yes, Dre and I are extremely lucky and kind of like, we're like so close.
Holla at your boy.
Super cool. So
yeah.
All
right, let's rip through some more rapid fire. What's going on? Book report. Still loving Station 11. It is awesome. Digging the. I find that if I put more words in my head throughout the day from a book or a magazine, I have my thoughts. I'll be surprised at how my thoughts are a bit more rich. Well, that's my first thing. Are you reading right now?
You know, I was reading Call of the Wild, Dog Stars. I haven't been consistent with reading, so I'd like to get back to that. Yeah.
Okay, that we've done injury report. Any injuries?
No,
Good.
feeling good.
Okay, cool.
I've been working
Knock on
out.
wood.
I've been working out with my
Knock on wood.
friend. With my friend, and she's on a. We've been doing these specific workouts that I just wouldn't do otherwise, and I'm proud of myself because I've just been very like go with the flow, not trying to have ego around it, and just be like, okay, yeah, let's do those, and like it's way more fun that way because I'm just like, okay, yeah,
Oh yeah.
and that's been great. No injuries, eating well, sleeping well. Last night, I like woke up at 3 a.m., right?
Yeah.
Walk into my kitchen, put on the hot water, and
You did.
made a cup of coffee. And then I checked my phone, and I thought it was 7 a.m. Anyways, I drank the cup of coffee, and then lied right back down and went to sleep till 7:30. Very exciting.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Those are always so trippy. Waking up thinking, I haven't had one of those in a while.
Yeah.
But, oh man, I did have a fucking pretty traumatic dream a couple nights ago. I forget it, but I need to start writing those down again. Okay. We've got injury report. We have our book report. What are the reports? Oh yeah, relationship status report. I'm currently on my once every 2 weeks wonderful little fling with this wonderful woman. That's been great. Sean, what's your relationship report, if you care to give one at all?
Totally. I have a friend that I'm spending time with.
What's his name? Or don't say her name.
I'm not gonna. She's awesome. But then I'm open to other connections as well right now.
Hell yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Relationship report, book report, injury report, minority report. That's a good Tom Cruise movie and Steven Spielberg movie if y'all haven't seen it.
Gosh, I haven't seen that in...
So good.
I haven't seen it since it came out 20 years ago.
It's a classic. Minority Report.
What about Die Another Day or
Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow.
So
That's one of
good.
my favorite
It's such a good
kind
action
of
movie.
action movies. Yeah.
Another Tom Cruise movie.
Yeah.
Can't really beat it. Sorry.
Yeah. I don't stay up on all the Mission Impossibles. There's probably been 5 that I haven't seen. And
That's one that where I'm like, all right,
cut it out. Cut it the fuck out.
yeah, that's enough.
Yeah.
There is this like, apparently there's a stunt where he was on the bottom of a plane, on the wheel of a plane as it was going 20 feet above canyons and rivers and stuff. And it's a stunt that he did. I'm almost certain. And like, wouldn't it be crazy if he just died? Like they hit a rock, and then like, it's like headline: Tom Cruise dies.
Doing a stunt.
And I guess it wouldn't be that crazy.
No, it wouldn't be crazy. It'd be like, wow, he was the man.
Yeah.
What a way to go out.
What he should do is when he's 86 years old or 89 and like dementia is about to just take the last knock the last little Lego off the tower of his memory, he should get on a plane and then like go for it, Jackson, and then like
That's it.
and then he dies that way.
Jackson skims the plane.
Jackson basically fucking ejects himself and lets the plane fly off into the.
Oh, there we go.
Into the.
I'm gonna write to Tom Cruise and
That's a good way to go.
tell him that he should do that.
Hell yeah! All right, this, that, and a bottle of fat.
Well, that's our little check-in. We're gonna try and keep these up more.
Yeah. We appreciate all the new Patreon subscribers. I hope you're having fun going back and watching all the old episodes.
Absolutely.
I think we've been doing this now for 6 months, and we've got 20 odd episodes, and it'll be cool to see how this continues to evolve.
Absolutely. Mwah. Lots of love.
Peace.